Did you know that in EU5 you can get 33% off your building costs right at the start of the game? We're blessed to have such an in-depth and complex trade system. However, a lot of these really crucial mechanics are a bit unknown and hard to find. So what do we need to do to get these cheap buildings in EU5? So we've just started an England game. We've got a blank canvas. Our country isn't built up really. We've got some good money in the bank to build our economy. And we've got a lot of high value buildings we can use. So obviously, the amount of buildings you can build, if you're doing it at a cost of say 30 ducats, rather than 50, the base cost, is astronomical. And the TLDR is that we've got a surplus of masonry in our market. So these advanced burger buildings, we get a 33% discount on. This also works on RGOs, and because we've got a lumber surplus in our market, we also get a 33% discount on our RGOs until this surplus is used up. As you can see, our masonry is in high supply in our market. Now, if we don't start building, our masons are likely to go bankrupt, as they don't have much demand for their goods. So it's a wise idea to consider subsidising your masons, especially in the early game, to give them something to do to maintain that discount. 0 and 0.03 for our masons. This isn't sustainable, so subsidising is absolutely worth it in this case. In terms of the other good that we were mentioning earlier for our RGOs, that's lumber. Now, as you can see, we've got equal supply and demand in this market. So the reason we're getting this discount is based off of our storage of the goods already in our market waiting to be used. Now, the advantage of this is that we can use them. However, it does mean that they're going to run out and we need to increase production or bring it in through importing it to ensure that we have this discount for the long term. As you can see, I've got the option of a highly profitable trade with the Oslo market for lumber. Now, not only is this going to be giving us cheaper buildings, as you're importing lumber directly into the market and you're going to be having a big surplus, but it's also going to be feeding money into our coffers, as we are making money off this trade because their lumber price is so low and our lumber price is relatively high, so we're making a profit of 3.75 ducats. What's also important to note though, is that you don't have to be making a profit for this trade. If you're looking for cheaper buildings, sometimes it's worth doing this at a loss, whereas you're paying a bit for the trade, but you're getting 33% of your building costs, and that's often worth it. So why is this so important? Well, consider the graph on screen now. If you're the red graph, you've got more expensive buildings, because it can go the other way. Each building is costing you 66 ducats, and therefore your buildings compound significantly slower. You're getting that return on your investment, but it's taking more years for it to pay off before you've got free cash flow that's just flowing into your economy. Your green line is if you're just paying it at 50. You are getting good return, but it's taking you a while to compound, and your blue line is if you've got really cheap buildings. At 33 ducats, you're going up at double the speed of the red, but it compounds significantly faster. So you're going at a lot more than double the speed because you're getting cheaper buildings, they're giving ROI into your economy, and that multiplier effect is happening earlier and faster. So the other option is just to build up your RGOs. And if you're looking to, in the case of lumber, you also have the option of sawmills in terms of the peasantry building. This is a long-term solution, but if you build it, they will come and that demand will be used. These aren't the only two options though. Especially as you get further into the game, glass is a big one. So you need to ensure that you've got a big sand surplus in your market to produce glass for your buildings. And more specialised buildings have different requirements. For example, a cathedral requires masonry, stone, glass, lumber and marble. And the market price of your different surpluses in your market averages out. So you need to ensure that you have all of your bases covered to get the biggest discount possible. So I guess the question is now, what sort of economy are you going to build with your really cheap buildings? And which friends are you going to destroy with this tip? So I've got a bit of an apology to make. There's been quite a few accusations that I am AI. Unfortunately, it's worse. I'm British. I know. My bad, guys. So if you're still sticking around, please consider subscribing. I've only been doing this a few weeks, so I'm still quite new to this, so any feedback or tips that you know yourself is very welcome. But rest assured, you are listening to a human, not a robot.
Have a good day.